Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dota League Season number 3 group stages. We are here with a Group B matchup between the CIS teams of Team Empire versus HellRaisers. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, as always, for joining us here in Dota Pit. A 2-game series about to get underway. We have the draft, of course, going. We've been on a bit of a break, I guess. We had a couple of games that were scheduled but had to be rescheduled. It happens. But now we have first action here between these two squads. Well, Team Empire, they're sitting pretty right now, 4-2 currently in the Group B standings, whereas HellRaisers, they're just 1-1. Of course, both teams taking a game off of Secret. Team Empire looking to get right up there with Team Secret, who finishes off Group B with 8-2. Can Team Empire do the same? We'll wait and see. As always, folks, thanks for joining us today. Our production manager is Pimp Uncle Mott Pax, our stats man, and of course, Tralf. How are you feeling today, man?
Doing pretty good. Just excited to hopefully watch some good games.
Yeah, this is honestly, I think this is going to be a pretty action-packed series. We always talk about CIS Dota being kind of run-at-you style. These two teams, they're no strangers to it. And they have some run-at-you heroes with the Bristleback and the Axe. It's a pretty interesting start already for both squads.
Yeah, there's always an interesting relationship between Dazzle and Axe when they're on opposite sides, because Dazzle's good against Axe in lane, because obviously Axe is a melee hero, so he's right up next to the creeps, but can take a lot of damage to the healing wave. But in the mid game with those dunks, Dazzle's not too good. The shallow grave doesn't really do anything against it, and I guess he's also got his weave to work against the physical damage of the whirling. The counter helix. So he's got that going for them. But yep, there's lots of aggression from both teams, at least the possibility of it, with being the Bristleback and the Axe. Shadow Fiend, Shadow Friend for HellRaisers. They like this hero, as most teams do. Just played it up against Team Tinker in a 2-game series. They went 1-1. They split it with them. But the first game, they totally should have lost. But off the back of some throws from Tinker and some good play from the Shadow Friend and Morphling, we were able to come back from that one. I just heard, though, as Modpax, I think, either Modpax or Pimp Munkle pointed out that Team Empire just went 0-2 against, who was it even?
Burden United, I believe.
Okay. That's an interesting. I don't even know who's on that roster, but that's interesting because Team Empire is thought to be the strongest team in that region. So very interesting.
Yeah, that's the Sing Sing Come With Me My Nuts roster of players apparently.
Oh, okay.
Which is interesting. You wouldn't expect a solid, like we talked about how Team Empire is probably I believe the second best in Group B, if not up there with Secret. Here in this group, and like they go down to Burden United. It's not something you expected, as Mopax pointed out. It was like 14% odds or something like that, but I guess some people got some rares. Some people were pretty happy. I don't know how that happens, but either way, yeah, Team Empire, maybe they need a second here to figure out what they're going to do against HellRaisers, because honestly, they got to get their heads back into the game, apparently. We'll see how this goes against HellRaisers with plenty of reserve time left for both squads, and we're still drafting.
Yep, and I've been seeing HellRaisers ban out the same first two heroes almost every game, which is the Troll and the Sniper. So that nothing new here. Team Empire bans out the Wisp and Chan. These seem to be all standard things. What's interesting to me is that the Bat Rider hasn't been picked up yet. It's kind of, again, one of those heroes that goes through kind of phases where it gets picked up first all the time, then kind of forgotten about, but not still out of the question. But now it seems like it's in the limelight once again, where it's banned or first picked, at least it seems from the games I've seen recently. But it's not picked up yet, so that's an option for, I suppose, both teams. Like, Axe could be run as a 1 position, Bristleback could also be run as 1 position or in the mid. So they still have options to pick up the Bat Rider if they wanted to.
That's the thing that I like about these types of drafts, is that you don't really reveal too much to either team. You're just saying, okay, well, what do we still have plenty of time to think about what we want to grab here. And like you said, there's plenty of heroes that we wouldn't be surprised to see. I think Bat Rider not getting touched is actually really interesting. But they go for the Templar Assassin for Empire. Resolution, one of his favorite heroes for sure. And another hero that's like, it's the hero's like picked occasionally, but it's like not out of the question. It's like it used to be top tier pick, but now it's like it's picked off and on, and I think the hero is solid. Really good for snowballing, which is kind of the lineup they have with the Bristleback, and I think that these two heroes together function pretty well. Lots of slow, lots of chase down and just kill you potential.
Yeah, they're also good for Roshan too, and they are dire.
Yeah.
Lots of negative armor from Templar and Bristleback, so.
I always forget that, man. Every time it's like, oh, they have armor reduction. Oh, oops. All right, they're gonna have Roshan pretty early on for Empire. It's always pretty good to get an early Aegis and cheese. It's a nice pickup.
I think this would be a really good game for Venge too on Team Empire. They have a great way to get someone out of the Axe Call. They have a great way to not only stop the initiation of Shadow Fiend's ulti if he does go for a Yules. So like say he Yules someone up and he starts to channel that ulti, you can actually just swap out the Shadow Friend and then stop it from channeling the ultimate, and then he gets kind of screwed up with this, combo. Or you can also swap out if they're tanky enough to withstand the initial damage of the Shadow Fiend's ult, then you can swap them out. But yeah, like I said, it's really good against the Axe Call. It's actually one of the good supports to be coupled up with not only Dazzle, but Bristleback too, to just kind of go with the negative armor theme and the Templar Assassin. So
yep.
I'm interested to see that it's not been picked up yet. It's not even been banned out. So just food for thought there for Team Empire if they wanted to look towards their next support. There is also the chance that they pick up the Tuskar. I know that they've liked it as a 4.
Yes.
They're picking up Brew now, so I think it's going to be a farming Bristleback then for Silent, and then probably
Yoki offlane Brew. He's done that
offlane
before.
Brew. Yeah, that seems like it more fits Team Empire's style.
Yeah.
But I really do think that Venge would be quite good for them. We'll see if it either gets picked up here by HellRaisers. Venge swap out here is not that great against Team Empires actually, because they don't have any huge stuns. They have lots of slow, like you said, slow and chasing potential. But we'll see what they go with the other support.
Yeah, HellRaisers, it might just be a deny pick here. If it goes through the entire draft and it's not picked or banned, I will lose it. All right, so Centaur is the choice for HellRaisers as their offlane. So you talked about the farming axe before, and that seems to be the case, unless they put Centaur in the safe lane, which I've seen them do before, where they prioritize his Blink Dagger over the axes. But I don't know. It's tough to see where they're going to send these heroes. But by the way, I want to point out, for any of you struggling, 3K MMR ranked aficionados, if you are playing support, literally just pick Vengeful Spirit every game and get good at swapping, and you'll win every game. Because I did that over the weekend, and I had a pretty good time. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say about that. Yeah, seriously, dude. Just don't listen to your team. Save them from lasso. It's amazing. I don't know.
It is a very good hero, and trying to debate whether Axe or Centaur should have the priority on getting the farming and that fast blink. I actually think that in this scenario, Centaur having the faster blink would be better because, yeah, you're going to have this. They're both going to have the same initiation potential, except the only difference is Axe does less damage than Centaur does because Centaur has better spells. Whereas Axe, you have to, 1, get lucky, and 2, you don't hold them in place as long as you do with a Centaur stun. Centaur stun duration, I think actually, it scales very similarly, so I'm wrong in that aspect. But the point still stands that Centaur's damage is more consistent, while Axe's is you have to be a little more lucky. And you also have, if you're calling a single target, you're probably not going to get a spin at all. Whereas if you stun a single target with Centaur, you're still doing all the damage you would have done regardless. So just a little bit something to think about there. But, I mean, the more standard thing, at least in these days, is to have the Axe farm up the blink. Because normally what happens actually is if he's going to get the free farm, I've seen Axes just go rush the Vanguard and then get the blink afterwards. So we'll see what they do. Team Empire, I still think Venge would be an amazing support here. Like I said, there's also the Tuskar. I know that they like that hero. It would work quite nicely with Dazzle and just keeping people alive for a long time. So they're going with the Shadow Shaman though. Okay.
I mean, that works too. If being on the dire side, early Serpent Wards means pushing down towers and especially getting Roshan, like we've talked about, which is, I still think I would have liked Venge more, but Shadow Shaman giving them that lockdown, which there's lockdown from the Venge, but the Hex is very good, obviously, and then Shackles as well. So I think this is a solid choice. And another hero where we're like, okay, the hero's pretty solid. It used to be amazing. And, it's not out of the question to see this hero picked up from time to time. Now for HellRaisers, they need a second support. What are they going to go for? We talked about Vengeful Spirit, how it's okay in their lineup. There's a couple of supports still in the pool. No, okay, Sand King. They're going to jungle Sand King, it looks like, or, well, rotate him, maybe roam him around, see if he can get an early Blink Dagger. Lots of blinks are needed here for HellRaisers. Almost all of the heroes on the side of HellRaisers will probably grab a Blink Dagger at some point in time, but Sand King is a hero I have not seen in a while, so I'm excited. I love this hero. Epicenters are a big thing, the do-do-do, if you will, and let's go.
I think it's a pretty good support here for them. I think they have a lot of AoE on the side of HR, and like you mentioned, they have a lot of stuns, so it's going to be hard, per se, to burst someone down. Actually, you know what? I don't think it's going to, because they have the Shadow Fiend ulti, so I don't know. I like HR's lineup, actually. I think the Shadow Shaman's still good for Empire. I think it just fits their style a little bit better. I've seen them play with it a lot. So I think, actually, both lineups have pretty balanced lineups. Gorik is actually going to be playing the offlane Centaur, so it will be the farming axe. Being played by Artis.
I could have sworn they were going to send him to the safe lane, but I guess I'm wrong. And well, it happens. And for now, it looks like Empire are going to run dual lanes, putting actually Salin in the farming Brewmaster. I thought it was going to be Yoki, but Yoki is in fact playing the offlane Bristleback. At least for now, they might have a dual lane. They might rotate Dazzle up top and actually just go for a tri lane, but we'll see what they want to do. As Empire getting ready to go here, and like you said, Gorit's in the offlane Centaur runner, and down bottom rune spot is going to be taken by probably Artez. I don't think Empire is going to walk out and try to contest that. There are 4 heroes in the vicinity. 4 heroes. Even Half Ninja is very far away. Oh, they are going to go in. Yoki's going to run in. Artez has, of course, the counter helix. There's going to be heal up. Artez getting a little counter helix. Procs going. Artez, what are you doing, buddy? Another quill spray would kill him, but no, they're going to get the other kill. It's going to be always want to fly. Big usage of that disruption from Goddamn. And Yoki cannot chase and get Artez. Artez baiting with his life, and he's even going to run at Yoki again for whatever reason. They're going to salve him up instead, and he's going to rotate away. And it looks like actually, is Artez going into the middle lane, and this is going to be Afanija in the safe lane as the Shadow Fiend? And that looks to be it.
Yep, Shadow Fiend with the Ring of Protection. That usually signals that they're going to be on the side lane, just because they have a fast Bassi to be purchased. And yeah, they're going to put the axe up against the Templar Assassin, which is pretty good because Templar Assassin's essentially a melee hero for the longest time. It's not like you're going to be leveling up Sideblades past level 1 for at least like 8 levels or something like that.
Yeah. Unless you're going for that new meta, the new meta TA, which I don't think is the case. Bottle crowing it up. Battle Hunger's going to go. That's very good as well. Getting early Battle Hunger, just making sure those refraction charges are gone. And, I mean, Resolution, this is kind of a tough lane.
Yeah, it really is, actually. You wouldn't think about it, but it's actually quite difficult. It missed a CS right there, unfortunately. And won't have the easiest time against this axe.
Ortez is going to try to bully Resolution out of lane, try to continue to make him bottle crow, and we'll go from there. Top lane, and Goritz is getting pretty low. Aloha Dance is really harassing, but he is no HP right now. He's no salve. He's got 1 pool tango. Aloha Dance, if he walks up and stares at the Centaur wrong, then maybe he goes down. Silent is doing very well in CS, though he's 9-5, and I mean, as things get going, we do have this Julian bottom right now, but are they really stifling the farm of Ninja? He's at 8 last hits, so the answer is no. He's fine in the side lane as this Shadow Fiend, for now at least.
Yeah, and I think Centaur's doing fine up top too. Like, he's getting full experience. The lane is pushing into his favor. Silent's trying to do his best to like deny creeps by pulling things to the side, but he's still getting pretty much full experience up at the top lane, bottom lane.
Burrow Strike's going to go. Always want to fly. Has a haste rune. Double Ray's not going to go. It does hit, but they don't have another Burrow Strike. They can get the kill. Goddamn's getting low. Yoki diving behind the tower. Cool sprays. He sticks up. Now gets body block.
Body block.
NJ. Pretty big body block. That would have saved Goddam's life. Now getting right-clicked as well, and he'll have to back away. He continues to take right-click coming up from Alpha Ninja, and just a lot of harassment coming out of this bottom lane. The angry heroes running at each other. Not much else happening, though.
Yep, and while that was pretty effective in doing lots of damage by Team Empire, the only problem is that they can't do it again because Yoki has no mana. And you don't think of Bristleback being a hero that's extremely reliant on mana, but he absolutely is in the laning stage. Outside of the laning stage, it's not as important because you usually have enough mana where it doesn't become an issue. but he already went for like their one go, so they can't go for it again unless he gets a bottle, which he's about 200 gold away from. But until that point, they shouldn't feel too fearful in this bottom lane.
Yeah. Sama de Goritz, Silence was going for the kill, couldn't get the clap off. Middle lane, what's going on here? Artez has 18 last hits, he's crushing his middle lane. Resolution only has 11. This aggressive axe pick into the middle lane is working. The call is going to go. It does not connect, however, as Resolution stats running onto Artez with his refraction charges, doing some damage. Bottom lane, Grave up, double burst strike coming in. Always want to fly, should die here. Body blocks from Dread. The last right click not there. Dread has to secure the kill himself, although he wanted to give it to FNJ. Goddamn, getting chased down. The quill sprays enough damage to get the kill. It's a 1-for-1 trade. Yoki, burrow stricken as well. Now the front raise coming out. Bristleback doing work. They need one more. Dread gets the double kill. Not with Burrow Strike, but his goddamn claws, which do almost no damage. And FNJ just couldn't get either of those kills, unfortunately. Still, it's a 2-for-1 trade and a good one at that for HellRaisers.
If this keeps up for Dread, it's just funny. He got first blood. He actually doesn't have a single last hit, so he hasn't been doing any jungles or anything like that. And he's up to almost 1,400 gold in his Sand King.
Oh my god.
So this is going to be one of, like I said, if this keeps up, this is going to be one of the fastest blink daggers on record.
And yeah, there's one stack over here. That won't get him to the mark, but it gets him very close. And he actually is out of mana. He might have to go back home. That's the one thing. That this would be a fast blink dagger had he had enough mana to actually secure that farm. But
I mean, goddamn is going to stack this for him, and then he'll come back with mana and he'll get it. It's still going to be extremely fast for him, and it's really going to catch someone off guard on this team. Like, he could probably gank top and kill Silent before he gets his ulti off. Like, they could probably, I think they could probably, if he hits 6 with his dagger, they could definitely kill that panda.
Have to see. And then mana management becomes important in
Sure, yeah.
trying to get the epicenter plus the blink burrow off. But we'll see. Brew's gonna go for the bottle, by the way. Speaking of bottle, does Yoki pick one up? No, he went for treads. So Yoki not going for bottle. We talked about mana issues. Goddamn has to be careful in this bottom lane. He's been run out a couple of times. He's died once already by Yoki, but as far as this aggression goes, like Dazzle plus Bristleback, very aggressive combo. It is not paying off as well as they would have liked. We already talked about the Sand King obviously getting farm, and FNJ is at 22 last hits, so he's up there as well. But yeah, I mean, HellRaisers are having a very good time because also they have mid lane farming very well, and then top lane, the Centaur is getting a couple of last hits and full experience, which we talked about.
Yeah, it seems like everything's pretty much even except for the fact that Sand King's doing ridiculously well. There's a Soul Catcher up on a Yoki. Goddamn's gonna have to run away. Yoki, there is an Invis Dazzle here that might throw someone off guard. We'll see. Dread's coming over, trying to get the stun.
3 poison stacks going. Soul Catcher's gonna go. He's gonna salve up. Burrow Strike's gonna go in. 4 stacks. They blow him up. Goddamn, pops the poison. Here's Resolution. Always want to fly. Has the grave. He's got to use it on himself. FNJ goes down to Resolution. His phase boot's coming in, doing enough damage. That Shadow Fiend not very tanky early on. Good rotation from Resolution. Turns into a 1-for-1 trade. They did take most of that stack, and Dread still not at that blink, but very, very close to the blink dagger.
Yeah, he'll get it after he stacks this and takes it. So that was just nice rotation from Resolution. They picked up the phase boots for extra mobility, came down there. They also had no idea that Dazzle was there. They're also prioritizing a ton of wards that are like in very similar spots. There's one that's not placed too long ago right here, and then one that was just placed right here. So they're really focusing on keeping tabs on what's going on in HR's jungle, which I guess is going to be good with this Blink Dagger coming up from Dread. But he won't. I don't think he'll have level 6 actually before he gets the Blink Dagger, which is hilarious. I think he'll maybe hit level 5 off of this. And
yeah,
then he will have the Blink.
And like Blink Burrow is good enough. I don't think they can kill Silent top lane because he'll be able to split, but
yeah,
they could get some kills in supports like Aloha Dance. They can maybe even get Resolution with a good call coming out from the Axe. Artez is up to 1,000 plus a bottle, so he actually is going to have his blink pretty soon. But 7.5 minute blink dagger for a Sand King. You don't see that every day.
Yeah, the fastest I've personally ever seen was 8 minutes by Zai when he still played for EG, and I was like, oh my god, this is the fastest. But this is at least the fastest I've seen personally.
Well, we have a way of finding out. Modpacks, buddy. I know you're looking it up, so hopefully we get that information soon. That's crazy. Bottom lane FNJ has died once, but he's still sitting at 34 last hits. Not the best time, but still doing okay for himself. Whereas top lane, Silent has plenty of farm, 54 CS for him, and the bottle, 1,200 gold, so it looks like he will be going for Blink pretty soon as well. And
Yeah.
Goritz has got Tranquils in level 6. That's all he's got.
Yeah, the problem is he actually does just finally ding level 5. So he didn't have it after that one stack. And the problem is that HR actually has no vision down whatsoever. So we'll see if he can get this kill onto mid. He puts his third point into Sandstorm, which is going to do actually pretty good damage with the Arta's Berserker's Call too. So they're going to have to wait till this pushes up one more time. Maybe after this stack, Artis, yep, he applies the Battle Hunger to get rid of those refraction charges. Oh, nope, he ran away. Okay, I was watching and Dread just wanted to go stack again.
Yeah, Dread's like, I'm going to stack this jump camp real quick. Don't worry, I'll be back soon. Don't you worry about it. There is a rotation coming out from Always Wanna Fly. This is very smart. They look like they know that something's up, that they might get rotated on here pretty soon. Or Always Wanna Fly just wanted to say hi to Resolution in the mid lane, who knows, but still, he was nearby, now he'll back away. Are they stacking Ancients? They are stacking Ancients for a Resolution, by the way, or for the Bristleback, whoever, actually. We talk about TA taking Ancients, but it could happen for Yoki as well, who's doing okay in farm. 30 last hits in the offlane. Now the Goo's gonna go. Double raise. Affinage is gonna chase down. Cool Sprays. He does have Warpath. They will use the Centaur Stampede to get away, and Affinage stays alive. Artez even rotated bottom.
Oh, look at that sentry. It's just out of... Look at both of the sentries. He just placed both of them, and they're both out of range barely of the other actual ward. Do you see this?
Yes. That's
oh
insane.
my god, that's so unfortunate.
I can't believe.
Now they think their jungle is free, and they think... So now when they go for ganks and they back away, they're going to be like, what the hell? Like, where's their
Does this not block
ward?
the camp, though? This one? I think it does, right?
It does. It just blocked it.
Okay.
At least I'm assuming that's what blocked it, because it didn't spawn, so...
Yeah. So they know that there's a ward around there somewhere, but... Well, for everything else...
Watch, because now they're going to think, oh, actually, Yoki might be in some trouble. Now here comes Resolution, though.
They're going to try to turn. Good disruption. Viscous Sizzle Goo continues to get applied. Now they're back. You got a goddamn instead, and he's probably dead here. Yeah, the Shackel's going to go, and Meld Strike just... That's a lot of damage. It's a spicy Meld Strike, and now they think about going into Rose. With double damage out of Yoki, with Serpent Wards, and with Resolution's Meld, they could probably take this pretty quickly, although Yoki has to be careful. He does take a lot of damage here from Roshan.
Oh, Sand King's smoked up, actually. He's going in.
Epicenter's getting channeled. They find Resolution. Fraction still going, though. He doesn't take any damage. Now the Sandstorm Berserker's Call. Grave onto Aloha Dance. Artez getting axed up as well. Silent coming in. Artez, meanwhile, gets the kill onto the Shadow Shaman. There's going to be another one going down. It's going to be Always Wanna Fly. An 0 for 2 trade so far. Pretty bad for Empire. Real good reaction time. Blink out from Silent just in time, but they're on the hunt. Now the split comes in. Blake Burrow only catches Resolution as Empire, they do get off the split. Yoki's still going on to Dread. Dread trying to run away, trying to skitter as fast as possible, but he's just not fast enough, and he'll go down. Good turn so far. Artez cycloned up, FNJ getting chased down. Now the split is over. Resolution still taking Shadow Poison. Raze coming through, FNJ about to fall. No, Requiem was skilled up. Couldn't use it. Artez now getting shackled up. Good turnaround from Empire. They're taking this fight. Berserker's Call is going to go. Do they have enough damage for Silent? Silent solo. Silent at 5 HP. Stays alive. And they'll take another kill. Meanwhile, Resolution chasing after goddamn Dread comes in. Blink Burrow comes through. Soul Catcher. There's the poison as well. The Sandstorm gets rid of the refraction. He'll run away. He has his drum charge. Not going to pop it. And while this is all happening, they get Roshan. And what was a very solid start to a fight for HellRaisers turns into a goddamn disaster. And Empire actually come away with a couple of kills and the Aegis.
Well, goddamn disaster is right, because that was a big misplay by him. He used his disruption, but he didn't poison, so it gave the Panda a very easy blink out, and they definitely kill him because the axe was sitting there waiting and ready to call, and he missed it because the blink came out because there was no poison through the disruption. A big misplay right there. It was a great start, as you mentioned, Goric with 2 life-saving ultis back-to-back now. Also, at the very, very start of the fight, it was a great initiation from Sand King, except he couldn't make up his mind as to which target he wanted to go. He wanted to get like a double stun, and he couldn't find it, so instead he just kind of went on the TA, and pretty much all of the refraction charges ate up the whole eruption.
Yeah.
The epicenter. So, okay, the fastest ever is 5. Oh my god. A barely sub 6-minute blink. Okay.
I was
well,
not expecting that.
Top lane, Silent.
Blink, call, not going to go. Silent, still going to get Blink down, but
That's not
he's
gonna work.
fine. I mean, they can't catch him. He's already too far away. Oh, look at the ancient stack going for Yoki, though. My god. That's a lot of farm. Dear Lord. He's already up to 900, almost 1,000 gold after these. Yep, there it is. Excuse me, 1,000 gold for Yoki. Resolution rotating nearby as well. And this is a very even game, despite what's been happening. HellRaisers having a very good laning phase. There's now a 2,000 gold lead because of the fight they took in during that Roshan fight. And of course, the Roshan itself giving them the Aegis, giving them that lead. And now they're going to go for tier 1 towers. They're going to ball up and try to snowball. They have the snowballing lineup, but I don't blame them for trying to get this done. I mean, there's really no farm run after Ninja. He doesn't have Yules yet. But they do have the Blink Dagger. Now the Epicenter going to get channeled and only hits onto Aloha and he'll fall. Stampede's going to go as well. Dread, they don't have vision. Jump in. Berserker's Call is going to get on Resolution. Silent jumping in. Collapse up. He does have his split. He's going to use it. Requiem long range destroying Yoki. But he's got the Aegis. Ninja getting chased down. Dread still Sandstorm through it all. Ninja finally might fall here. It looks like he will. Getting chased down is always one to fly. Turns into a 2-for-1 plus the Aegis. Now Dread in trouble. Might get out. No way. Double kill for Silent. And they get the tier 1 tower. Another disastrous fight. And HellRaisers looked good again. But they just couldn't really fight through that Aegis. And then Silent with a beautiful Blink initiation. Getting it done. Well played from Empire.
Yeah, absolutely. They didn't have any sentries. I don't think that the Wind Panda's Dispel thing takes you out of Sandstorm. I could be wrong, but I don't think it does. But either way, I think that maybe Dread thought they had vision, and obviously if it does Dispel, then I'm wrong, but yeah, a very good fight. 691 gold to Silent in that fight, so
I mean, he pretty much
he's going to be huge. He picks up a Vlad's with his Blink and Treads at 15 minutes. It's looking pretty damn good for Team Empire here.
Silent is he's a big boy. He's a big brewmaster right now. He's got a lot of items to work with. They take the tier 1 bottom, but now Artez looking for always want to fly. They're also looking for this tier 1 tower. Epicenter on cooldown for 50 seconds. Lots of team fight ready to go. Empire getting in position to defend. Oh, they do not want to fight into weave. It is time to leave now at this point. Side trap's going to go. Drum charge as well. They do not want to chase Ninja. Apparently another slow apply to him, but they're wrapping around the pincer move from the backside. Silent's about to jump in. Artez going to get spotted out. Hex up. There's the Stampede. They need to get the hexes and the shackles. They'll get it. And they get a big kill on that axe. And now they're going to keep going. More than likely onto this tier 2 tower. Very well played again. Very nice pincer rotation coming out from Empire.
Yeah, and they're just running over them right now. It's just a really, like, as you mentioned, just run over you kind of lineup. And they got their core items. They've been fighting these fights nicely. And I just don't know that maybe I'm second guessing. I should be second guessing the Sand King pickup in general, because yes, it's nice AOE, but I don't think that it actually does enough damage to this lineup of Team Empire. I mean, obviously he had a fantastic timing of that, but where's their damage coming from? I don't know. It's certainly not coming from the Shadow Fiend, because he doesn't even have a Yules, and it's 17 minutes now.
I mean, when they jump in, they have like really good kind of keep you in place stunlock and lots of mobility, crippling abilities, but at the same time, like there's really just they're really hoping for number 1 spins, number 2 a good blink stomp double edge, and then it's like it's all about the perfect team fight and initiation for HellRaisers. Whereas Empire are like, okay, we have Warpath, we have Silent, who's he does a lot of damage at this point in the game. TA is starting to become a big factor, who, by the way, went for the Blink Dagger. I've seen more and more of this with the phase drum blink kind of build for Templar Assassins, and less and less of the treads kind of thing. But Yules is now done, so they have the setup needed for a big Requiem. He already has level 2 Requiem plus 36 souls, so this might be their ticket to finding a kill or two and getting back into the game, which they're not too far off of. Well, I say that, and then I look at the graph again, and all of a sudden it's 7,500 net worth lead coming up for Empire, so that came out of nowhere, apparently.
I think the only people he can blow up with this Yules combo is the supports. And
yeah,
even then you have the chance of being stunned while you channel it by the Shadow Shaman or the Panda if he's split up. And if it doesn't fully kill anybody, they can easily get healed up and grave to basically full. if the fight goes out long, which is great for Empire. They want the fight to be drawn out because I don't think that HR have enough fighting power. Oh, nice Hex from Aloha Dance, but there's a good Centaur Stampede yet again.
Yeah, Stampede get to save their life and actually probably get a kill on Aloha Dance, if not more. Always want to fly. Somehow gets into the tree. Stomp's going to go. They know he's there. They've already taken down Aloha Dance in the backside. Always want to fly. His head gets split open. Gets bodied by Artez. Dear Lord. Well, I mean, they get the supports, and that's nice. But they have to use the Stampede and a couple of abilities for it. Whereas bottom, Silent continues to farm, Resolution continues to farm mid, and is going for a BKB now. And by the way, Yoki, who I've not looked at in a while, has a full S and Y, so... And they're looking solid for Empire.
Yeah, it's just... That was a really nice play there by the Centaur, trying to get the and one instead of just the one easy kill. Artez taking some damage. Do they have a stun? I don't think they do. That is the one problem for Team Empire. Outside of the Panda split and Rasta, they have no stunts, and you can just pretty much TP away from the enemy hero once they put some aggression onto you. But yeah, the Centaur Stampede has just been doing work this game. I'd say Gorik is playing very, very well and has been on top of these Stampedes.
But I mean, at this point, that's really the only reason why they're surviving in a lot of these engagements. Their positioning has been pretty poor, I'd say, for HellRaisers. They're getting caught out maybe a bit too much. Dread specifically got caught out in that last fight. And it'll continue to be an issue, but for now, for Empire, they're kind of just waiting around. I think they wait for another Roshan. They have the top 3 in net worth, and they have really solid late game. There's no reason for them to push this any further. Because a lot of the damage coming out from HellRaisers is, well, at least from the side of the Centaur, is magical, obviously. The Requiem's magical, Axe is physical, but he's not that real big force to be reckoned with. Sand King's magical. So once they get BKBs, they get an Aegis, then they can probably continue to push and snowball. But instead, for now, they're just focused on farming. Well, except for bottom, where Artez is going to get caught out. He's going to X up Shackles as well. Yoki has a double damage rune. Artez is going to get stampeded and maybe survives. No, the Ether shot coming in. Aloha Dance going to work. Split in the top lane. Requiem goes. Not sure if it caught anybody or if he split beforehand. Alpha Ninja in trouble now. Looks like he's going to get chased down. Do they have a Cyclone? He just used it. Now they use it again. Goddamn Seer trying to help out. They actually run the Earth Broodling away. And might be able to get out. Beautifully timed Burrow Strike from Dread. That was sick. And they get the kill because of it.
That was a really nice timing there from Dread. And I thought it was actually a little bit of an early boulder toss onto the Centaur. Thought he could have maybe waited just a second, but obviously it didn't matter because of great timing from Dread. And yeah, I didn't see it, but I saw that if you looked up in the top right, you could see Panda's health was at like just a sliver. I imagine the Requiem combo came out onto him and almost took him down, and then he just kind of used the split and panic.
Yeah.
Which almost saved him, but yeah, nice play by Dread once again.
Yeah, that was pretty solid, honestly. And just that Burrow Strike came out of nowhere. Pretty unbelievable. I guess it's not that hard of a... Still, it was impressive to me. They're going to go for the tier 2 tower. Serpent Wards are going to go. And, yeah, they're going to actually just... They still have a tier 1 tower they need to take top, plus the tier 2 as well. But they continue to just push down towers, and Empire have a pretty solid advantage. Good split pushing from HellRaisers. They're going to have one up top with Avaninja. Silent's going to look for Dread. He's going to miss the clap. And Dread will get out safely.
Well.
Yep. And Roshan has respawned. They know it because they have a trap put in there. Yeah, it looks like it's not too crazy of a lead, actually, for Team Empire.
It feels like... Yeah, they had that 7,500 net worth lead, then they've lost a couple of fights, or they kind of just got split pushed a bit. And now they're going to go for Roshan. BKBs are going to be coming out pretty soon for a couple of these heroes. Yoki seems to be building one now. We already talked about Resolution and Silent both building one as well. So with this Roshan, they're going to get pretty close to this BKBs. Silent still needs about 1,000 for his. What about Resolution? He just needs this Ancient stack, and then he has his BKB ready to go. When you have these BKBs, I think that's when you push here for Empire and you try to finish this game, because right now they're in a position where they're ahead. They just need a couple of towers top to get all the outer towers gone, and then they're good to go. They don't really need any more damage. They already have everything they need in that regard. So
they're going to need a basher on this perspective. Top lane, here comes a Requiem combo.
Sure.
Like I said, easy peasy on the support. The Shadow Shaman gets blown up. Silent trying to pursue. Gets stunned out, actually. Can he get... Oh, nice grave.
That grave's huge, and he gets to split off as well. Goddamn, throwing up the disruption coming in. Always want to fly, probably falls as well. Goddamn, getting chased down. Suddenly, Empire losing 2, maybe 3 heroes. Goddamn, not dead yet. Tia's gonna come in. Will he be able to get anything done? Goddamn's gonna fall. Artez now taking damage. Throw up the side trap. Gortz is gonna try to TP out. Looks like he will make Melt Strike. He's not gonna make it. Double kill coming out for Resolution. In the meantime, Silent bottles up. They TP away Artez. After Ninja stuck up here in the jungle, but he does have a TP as well. Turns into a 2 for 2. Yuki finally getting into the fray. Looks like they'll get the tier 1 tower at long last.
Yep, the Requiem combo is pretty devastating on these supports. He blinks forward, and he's actually just going to TP away. That's the innate problem with his Empire lineup, is outside of the Rasta, they don't have any stuns whatsoever. And to be honest, Rasta stuns aren't even really that impressive, because most of the time he has to stay back because of what we just saw. He's just going to get blown up. He's their most crucial hero as far as not getting picked off. The rest of them are fine. They can't really die. Even the Dazzle... I mean, yeah, Dazzle can get blown up too, but I think Ross is a little bit more important than the Dazzle in team fights.
Yeah.
So, also, this Centaur pick is just really, really good against Empire. For the same reason. They don't have any stuns, so they can just ulti and run away. So that's why I said I think after this BKB for the Bristleback, I think he really needs to build into a Basher. I think that's going to be really important.
Artez getting caught out. Speaking of getting stun up, the Hex comes through. Shackles finally, they get the blade mail off. Good disruption to save his life for the time being, but they trap him with the Serpent Wards, and that is just... always want to fly. Getting caught out. He'll follow the Dread. Now they're going to Sapien away again. He's going to actually just Sandstorm. They had a Sentry Ward, so they saw it. He's going to blink up to the high ground. He'll try to TP away. Looks like he might make it out. Quill Sprays! Yoki doesn't go for it. He could have, but they decided against it. And somehow he survives there. But, no, you're right. This Centaur pick has been absolutely incredible. They need disables for Empire. They need... you talk about the Basher for Yoki. There's also a possibility that maybe Brewmaster goes for the Basher as well. Although that's probably a bit later. I mean, maybe he gets the Assault Cuirass first. Then goes for, say, a Basher into Abyssal Blade. But I think they definitely need some more stuns, and that will provide the lockdown they need. But... they have all 3 of those BKBs I was talking about. They just finished them up. Yoki got one. Silent picked one up after. Resolution had got his first. And still with the Aegis, maybe they need to make use of this and go to the high ground. That's exactly what Yoki wants to do here.
It might be what they have to do, because I think if they just keep trying to go for pickoffs, maybe they get 1 or 2 in a span of 5 minutes or something, but in the long run it's going to hurt them, because here comes a disruption on the Yoki. Will be fine. He still has the Aegis, so he doesn't even care. But yeah, they kind of have to force the issue, don't they? Like, I think they could just keep easily running away from Team Empire with their Centaur ulti as long as it's up, but they can't run away once they're hitting their buildings. So yeah, this is a smart decision, I think, from Team Empire, pressing the issue with the new BKBs, the Aegis up on Yoki still, and the Weave to boot.
There's no backing up when your towers are in trouble. Yoki, big stomp gonna come through. BKB timing, beautiful for Silent. Gortz stays alive barely. Affinage gets the Requiem off. Now Yules is up in the air. They actually keep up the Centaur. He survives. Affinage will not be so lucky. And by the way, he has no buyback, but a lot of BKBs used there. They have to get this tier 3 tower. And they're trying their damnedest, but still taking forever. Resolution, obviously, with no Desolator yet because he went for that BKB. Does have a lot of money now, but they are hitting the Raxes. Will we see another initiation? Artez getting ready for a blink. Gortz as well. We'll see if they go once more. Rax is gone. They might even just let this Rage Rex go altogether. Yoki's going to get disrupted. Now Empire looks like they're going to make their retreat. Jump in. Silent caught out. Doesn't have... no, still has the split. Ready to go if necessary. Serpent Wards. Dread is going to channel the epicenter. Gets it off, but does get it shackled up. Aloha Dan staying alive just barely. Looks like Dread will fall in the end. They dispel magic. They grab the kill with something. I'm sure it was a Shadow Wave there. Now the Serpent Ward's going into the tier 3 tower. Looks like the long-range boulder toss on the goddamn Cyclone him up in the air. Just stay there for a little while. Don't think about coming any further. And Empire now is still rolling over the base of HellRaisers. They're about to lose a range Rax, maybe even the melee Rax as well. Affinage finally back up. Range Rax about to fall. The Super Ward's doing enough work. Yoki in the front line. Silent low. Silent will go down. They can't get the grave off. Resolution has to exit. Big force. There's the bro coming up from Dread. They pop the BKB on Resolution. Yoki tried to fight. Affinage uses himself. Goddamn, getting chased down. Yoki's BKB about to go down. Needs to kill Affinage. Gets it done with the Quill Sprays. Stomp goes. Yoki doesn't have anything to stay alive. They've already used the grave. No mana for Always Want to Fly. And there's the bro coming in. They finally get the kill. But again, at what cost? Always want to fly on the retreat. Got to try to TP. Will not make it. They lose a couple of buildings there. Two to three towers, and oh boy.
And Artez has blinked into the trees, and they lost. Did they lose? No, they haven't lost the range racks yet, but they've taken substantial damage, and that's permanent damage too. They have no tree and protector or anything like that, so. Yep, poor Yoki there. He wanted to just go in and fight. He had his BKB active, and TA just like, nope, screw it, I'm out. BKBs and TPs away. But yeah, that would be a good fight to see another look at it.
And with that being said, Pimp Uncle, our replay master, let's take another look. Pimp, what's up, man?
Hello everyone. So let's get some replays going here, and I just want to say that was such a great attempt by Alpha Ninja. That was a great 2-stomp, but there already are like 3 BKBs up on the course, like you guys mentioned, and that's crucial. There has been an amazing Requiem, but no one took any sorts of damage. Yeah, the Desert, you know, he just stays back. Who cares? He just uses ult, so they don't even take damage. And well, without your Shadow Fiend, you do not have any sorts of physical damage. And well, that's just you know, an issue when everyone else has BKBs. So with that being said, 2 easy wrecks for Team Empire, and back to you guys.
That is an issue. Oh man, Pimp, I love you, man. Oh god, Empire now, they're leading pretty heavily. We talked about forcing the issue. You can't run away when your barracks are in trouble, and that's exactly what happened. And we kind of saw it coming. It was like 22 minutes in. It's like, okay, they're gonna sit back, they're gonna farm, they're gonna wait for the BKBs, they're gonna wait for the next stages. It's just like, and HellRaisers, they couldn't get anything done in that span of time. So they still don't have any damage. Now they're like 2 racks down, 2 buildings down, I should say. And Empire still have this gigantic lead of 12,000 net worth. And now they even have a goddamn Aghanim Scepter for the Shadow Shaman to body buildings even further.
To body buildings. Oh man. And when's Roshan respawn? I guess we'll find out here soon.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
There's a double damage bottom though. As they're looking to put some aggression onto Artez. Here comes a Hex onto Alpha Ninja. There's a disruption. Goddamn's probably dead. One more auto attack from Resolution gets the kill. And this is looking bad yet again for HR. There's a nice call. It only hits 1 though, actually. Doesn't get Yoki.
And he gets
another Hex
immediately. And now they have to Stampede as well to get away. That Stampede could have been so crucial in an initiation or even defend their base. But now with that down, it's going to be tough. It's an uphill battle. They even throw up the Serpent Wards. Goodbye, Melee Rex bottom. Serpent Ward's not even necessary. And they'll kill some of these Moonwells as well. And goodbye, buildings. And
the the range racks in mid falls to creeps. Roshan should be respawning very shortly. They have a DD rune there to help him out for when it does respawn. And actually, are they gonna have it until it hits 32 minutes? Oh, I don't think they will. It'll be close, but
they can pick it up
bottle
at the very end.
All right.
And then, yeah, that's exactly the bottle. See, also, Resolution picks up a straight butterfly, so that's something.
Yeah. Keep in mind, he was not doing well in the mid lane. No. He wasn't doing poorly either. It was more of that Axe was actually just getting better farm. But he didn't have his ideal lane, but he still made... It was really that first rotation that he made. Oh, Gorak gets some trouble.
Stampede coming through, Hex up.
Oh, he needed to get the shackles.
They're still chasing him down. They have the slow up. They're going to use the Drunken Haze, but everyone's jumping in. Dread's nearby, ready to go. Epicenter, ready to get channeled. Not going to use it yet. Artez looking for a call. Melt Strike blows up Gorath. Resolution pops to BKB. Dread gets Hex up. Resolution still chasing heroes down. Now backs up. Goes to the main fight. FNJ gets the Requiem. They get the Culling Blade off on one of the heroes. It's a support. They get the double Culling off. Artez going to work. Resolution still trying to right click. They have the Butterfly. Now the split comes in. Dread does get the Epi off. Is going to Sandstorm. Resolution getting low. Melt Strike does actually not get the kill on Dread. So close. Now the only one surviving at this point in the fight is Silent. He's alone. Yoki's finally running in, but he's a bit too late here to the party. Maybe not. Artez getting Boulder Toss. Goddamn, trying to get away. Yoki comes through. Gets the call off. Artez about to fall. Gets the Blade Mail. One more. They'll get the kill. Goddamn, TPing away. Looks like he will make it. Yoki's right click. Just not enough damage there. As he also finished up the Assault Cuirass. Not the best fight for Empire, but again, I mean, they need a lot more than that for HellRaisers to get back into that.
Yeah, well, they still have Roshan at their disposal. Yoki wasn't even there for most of the fight. The double damage from TA did so much work. I'm surprised that the Centaur didn't use his halberd at all. He could argue that, well, he's just going to BKB anyway, but he did BKB, and you're gonna have to use it anyway before you die, so... I thought that was a little interesting that he didn't use it at all on the TA. He got a lot of auto attacks onto him with that DD. Roshan falls. Cheese is sitting there in base for someone to pick up. It's going to be the Dazzle, at least.
By the
now.
way, well, hold on. LOI Dance is dead top lane. That's unfortunate, I guess. He also has a Blink Dagger. He's had that for a while. He has Zagnum Scepter. I think Silent and Yoki had maybe some... No, I guess not. I'm not sure if Silent actually originally wanted to pick up a Selkiros, but he has a Hyperzone and what seems to be the beginnings of a Mjolnir, so... I'm not sure if that was kind of just a miscommunication between him and Yoki, because Bristleback also has the Assault Cuirass now, but regardless, they will have some damage. And we talked about stuns and disables. I'm very surprised that neither of them are going for a Basher, but, well, what do I know?
Yeah, but, well, they found the solution. There's a Flutter, actually, from Resolution. It puts him up to... I mean, he used something after, so he has his Phase Boots deactivated, but that Flutter actually is pretty good in helping you run away. But they found the solution. It's no longer we need to keep heroes in place. It's more of we just need to group up and push. Yeah. And then the heroes will stay in place because they have to defend. And that certainly worked out for them because they're now ahead in 4 axes, so...
I just don't see any way HellRaisers get back into this game. Sure, you now have an Aghanim Scepter for your Sand King with your Epicenter, but I guess Shadow Fiend needs to get a lot more farmed, and even then, he's got a long ways to go because of how farmed Resolution, Yoki, and Silent are. They've had some pretty good team fights, but it's generally been Empire kind of just not being around, taking the best fights when they get caught out. That's when HellRaisers really shine. So for now, they'll take the Tier 2 tower top lane, and really there's nothing stopping them with the Sages and Cheese for going for a set of racks here. And I think that's exactly what they're going to do.
Yeah, it's just kind of funny because the way, if you look at both drafts, they both kind of drafted lineups to where they... actually, hold that thought.
Oh, Dread actually he does get across. Now they get the Requiem off. That's the Aegis blowing up. Resolution's getting kind of low as well. Pops the BKB. Fly has to grave himself. Gore's taking damage, but not nearly enough. Dread probably gets focused down as well. The Sideblade's going to work. Big Halberd going out. His Resolution's BKB is done. On the backside, goddamn TPing away. Gore's blinks out. Now getting chased down. Yoki pops his BKB. Resolution finally kills Dread. They're going to get Gore's as well. No buyback for both of those heroes. Split still and going up. They're going to get Artez up in the cycle. Now they have some free damage on the Tier 3 tower. BKB's on cooldown. Artez gonna get hexed up. Beautifully done by Aloha Dance. Artez getting right click, shackled up. He's done. Double kill for Resolution. And now with 4 dead and with 0 buybacks on the board, I have to imagine this is gonna be GG in game 1.
GG, and he does pick up his Basher. Probably wants to run to the shop so it shows up on the post-game screen. Go, Yoki, go, Yoki, go. Got it? Yes, got it right before.
Good work, Yoki.
That's like my one thing. I have to make sure right before the game ends I pick up every item I can, spend my gold, so it makes it look like I've done more that game, or farmed more that game.
I think that's everybody. That's every Dota player's dream. Get to the fountain. I need to get my rapier.
Because now we're looking at the postgame, we're like, wow, he has a Basher BKB, he's 6-slotted. He just picked it up at the end, but yeah,
there's somebody, by the way, it's funny you mentioned that. There's somebody for Virtus Pro, I forget who it is. I think it might be Yol, who just sells all of his items and buys like 6 GG branches or 6 of anything at the end of the game.
Yeah, I've seen 6 Mask of Madnesses before.
Yeah. Is it Lil? Okay, yeah. I knew it was somebody from Virtus Pro. Well, the now defunct Virtus Pro, I suppose. But, yeah, that's the end of the first game, man. What are your thoughts with Team Empire taking that victory?
I was going to say, if you look at both lineups, they both kind of drafted a lineup where like they want to elongate a fight and they want to fight for a long time and they want to kind of outlast each other. The problem is that Empire's is just better because they have Bristleback and they have heals behind him with the Dazzle. So they both kind of had that idea. Like Team Empire's like we go in and stun multiple times, we can call multiple times, we can stun a lot with Centaur and Axe. Shadow Fiend has good damage and can control fights and farm faster. But Empire just had the same kind of idea, but it was just stronger. They could actually outlast HR's lineup because of they were more tanky. They had heals behind them, and they had a really good pushing utility with the Shadow Shaman as well. Yeah.
Well, with that being said, we are going to jump into a break, and then we'll jump into game number 2 here between Team Empire and HellRaisers. Make sure you guys follow us on Twitter at MockDota, at PimpMuckle, at MockPax, and at TralpDota as well. Check out more information at dotapit.com and twitter.com/dotapit. Guys, stick around. Game number 2 coming right up. See you soon.